You're now connected to Evoking Involvement with our international team. Danny is in California, USA.
And this guy right here, Vladdy, is in Spain, Europe.
Gracias por presentarme, Danny. Through core discussions, interviews, and relating our own personal life awareness,
we hope to make your life journey a bit more peaceful, allowing, boy, we could use a lot of peace right now, allowing our podcast to educate, evoke, and above all, entertain. And today's guest encapsulates all three of these: an authentic soul who has learned to purge fear, or rather, let me rephrase that and say to love and embrace the fear. What an accomplishment. And to live his best life by being transparent and forthright, setting an example to help others and enable them to express their true identity. Dancer, teacher, even a massage therapist as well. Wow. and a deeply passionate HIV and mental health advocate and unwavering activist. We welcome Joshua Roy Al, airing fresh to you from London.
Hello.
Well, not to kiss your ass here early on, my dear, but I find this gentleman, Joshua, a complete inspiration for me.
For me too. So let me add that you have been partnered for more than 2 years, and his name is Drew, who's a drag queen, actor, and head of drama at Harris Academy Modern. And you both work at the same school, don't you?
We did until a few weeks ago when I had a little meltdown. So we've kind of left that.
Okay. So you
Okay.
guys have recently purchased a home.
Yes, we're living in Tooting Bec in South London, which is a project, but it's getting there. I'm enjoying it now. It was all a bit of a change all at once, but it's really exciting. And first we said house, then we said babies, marriage, then babies. So fingers crossed he pops the question soon, you know?
Listen, moving is no simple feat. Oh my God.
Moving house, changing jobs, like living together, like it was too much change all at once. But because I suffer bipolar, so the amount of change going on in my life, it was kind of like I've just taken time to look after my mental health, and I'm now going to start in front of house in the theatre in Soho in the West End soon. So that's starting next week.
Please keep us posted on that. Wow. So you know what? I'm going to start right at the very beginning so that our audience knows who you are, a little bit of background. You were born in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
In 1991, and at 5 weeks old, you were adopted due to your birth mother couldn't look after you, and she wasn't married, so it would put shame on her family.
So I was adopted by two British people who were the most loving people in the world. Be open about my sexuality. We traveled around the world together. And really, they've given their lives to me and my sister, who's also Sri Lankan. She's Tamil and I'm Sinhalese. And obviously, they didn't know anything about dance. And, they let me go to ballet school. They let me go to America at age 18. And literally, they're my best friends. They're the most kind, loving parents in the world. And they bought me and my sister a house. They've been there at the end of the phone calls. Like, I couldn't have asked for better parents, and that is love. Like, it doesn't matter that we're not blood related, they're the best parents in the world. And I've always wanted to set up something in Sri Lanka for children. I think having had a part of me there, I feel to give back to the community and give children a future, maybe through an HIV charity or orphanage or something like that. But I'm very close to Sri Lanka, so.
My God, what two wonderful people, parents these have turned out to be. I mean, wow.
I mean, it was that or Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, Jehovah Witness. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I got the names wrong. But it was between two families, and I chose my mum and dad, so I was very lucky.
Very. And now, so your family moved to Oxford,
They
Oxford.
live Oxfordshire. We've always lived in Oxfordshire. I went to private school where there was like all boys, and that's when I was dancing on the tables. And mum was like, "If only you learnt your tables instead of dancing on them." Um, and obviously, I was like into ballet, wearing little tutus and putting on little shows in my bedroom. Bit of a little diva, listen to pop music and stuff. And then I went to the Royal Ballet School age 11, and they were like, it was an all boys school, and it was all rugby, and like all boys like posh schools. And then there's the ballet school. It's kind of like, oh, he's got something different. And this Malsford was the school, and they really nurtured my creativity, and they got me to dance at the carol service. And I've been very lucky with the teachers I've had over the years. Some of the best dancers out there. Now I look back on it, I was so lucky to have those opportunities throughout my career.
You were what, around 12 when you moved to England?
I was 5 weeks old when I moved to England from Sri
Oh,
Lanka, but I was 11 when I moved to London.
oh, I see.
So
Okay.
I was 5 weeks old when I came to the UK, and then I was 11 years old when I moved to London to White Lodge, the Royal Ballet School.
What do you think, Joshua? All that experience, those changes, how did they shape you?
I think it really taught me discipline. I think like in the dance industry, it's very disciplined. It taught me how to be from my parents. They've taught me to respect everyone despite how much money they've got, like kindness to everyone. But the industry really you work as a team, putting on a show every night, going on tour around the UK. You've got to work as a team, and you've got to get through the show. There's a real sense of team spirit. And also, I think it's a passion. So you're doing what you love, and it's a real honor. Not many people can say they've been a dancer and been paid to do what they love doing. And as Lady Gaga says, like, if you never work a day in your life if you're doing something you love. So obviously I ended my career short due to mental health, but like, it's still a part of you. I think once a dancer, always a dancer. And obviously I judge competitions now, so I do a bit of judging and adjudicating and seeing the young talent and giving opportunities for the next generation.
Now, last year you were part of a book called From the Margins.
Yes.
An Ocaron endeavor by Gilead Pharmaceuticals, quote, to raise awareness of the issue of marginalization and health inequality in the UK, end of quote. And it was also written along with British historian and writer, Professor David Otusaga.
Yeah, that was amazing. Since I came out with my status in 2015 about HIV, 2020, about my status, because I was diagnosed in 2015, and then 5 years later I came out with my status. I've become very close with Gilead Sciences. I was an ambassador for the Find Your 4 campaign in 2021, and then in 2022 I became ambassador for the Together Voices with Gilead, and then in 2023 I became one of the I guess spokespeople for the book From the Margins. And it's really about it, in the book it's all in the margins, so it's about struggling that battle to read the words around the edges, and it's a very unique book.
If you will, I want you to repeat that, because when I read that I thought, now wait a minute, so please repeat that.
Yeah, so literally the words are all around the edges of the book, so each page the words around the edge, and it's quite a struggle to read, and it's that struggle of overcoming these things. There's people with cancer, there's people with hepatitis, and it's just about the health inequalities that still exist, and the stigma, and it includes transgender people, it includes disabled, and it's just everyone's equal, and it's a very special book to be a part of.
I love what you say in the book, quote, I once feared of HIV, but now I have it. I know there is nothing to fear.
Yeah. And that's just as it is. I back in my 20s, I didn't know anything about HIV, and I just thought it was a death sentence because I wasn't educated. It all comes from education. If you don't know what you're talking about, you just fear it. And I think in school, education was just about don't have sex before you're married. They didn't say anything about STIs or the the consequences of having bareback sex, and the about drugs and drug misuse, and all this kind of stuff. Because I was just a vulnerable young boy living in London on my own and wanted to explore my sexuality. I got into a very dark scene of drugs and late nights and romances with bad boyfriends, and it was a bit of a blur. And now I'm so lucky to have found someone that actually wants to bring out the best of me. Since I met him, I've quit drugs, I've quit alcohol, I've quit smoking, I changed jobs a million times, but that's because I don't know what I really want to do. But I'm on the right tracks, and I've got a supporting, loving family. And life is a journey. It's not all up and all one like flat platform. Like there are ups and downs, and I think all these changes are for the better, but they do take a toll on your mental health. And I think just sharing those words that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel alone, but reach out for help. And I blabbed on a little bit, but
Well, no, and I have to acknowledge that, I mean, it seems like part of your MO, part of your spirit, that these wonderful people just kind of happen into your life, and how wonderful that is. Like with Drew.
and he's my rock. I mean, we've had upsets and little slips and stuff, but at the end of the day, I can be my 100% self, and he brings out the 100% best of me, and he's pushing me to do the best. He just wants me to do well, as does my mum, as does my dad, as does my sister. When I had my breakdown with bipolar, my sister brought my niece up to see me. Like these little things like that, they all supported me. But in the moment, you can feel so alone. And coming to London, not knowing people, all your friends are all over the world in dance companies. You kind of just want to be loved, and I've always been looking for love in the wrong places. And I've actually found someone that wants to be with me for the rest of my life. And it doesn't happen often. Like he's a good nut.
Joshua, what do you think, getting to the mental health
Yeah.
concept, what are the main challenges nowadays that mental health face?
I don't think people talk about it enough. I think in schools and generally, well-being and mental health in general, they don't take enough time to talk about how you need to process what's going on. Counseling is so important, I think, for people that have had a traumatic past. I just think having time to just switch off and not talk about work, and just ways of coping with stress and anxiety. I think anxiety can really build up in a workplace when it's very crowded and busy. And I've been taking tablets for my anxiety because I had 6 panic attacks in a day, and it just got extreme, and I was like, I need help. And I was just crying. Why won't anyone help me? I was having breakdowns, and this is why I got so bad. I was like, I need to go to the doctor, I need help. And I think if you got friends that feel alone, reach out to them. Or like, it doesn't hurt, or they've had a breakup, or they are moving house or something, just check in on them. It doesn't cost anything, but you might save a life. Because it got to the point where I was very suicidal, and my boyfriend had to come and find me. I didn't know where I was. I was on the phone to the Samaritans trying to stay alive. It got really dire, and I could hardly do the shopping. I was doing my shopping, and I didn't know what I was doing. I think it's just like, bearing in mind, it's not just something we should turn away from. We need to talk about it more. It needs to be in the headlines. I think it's really important. I think for someone who's bipolar, I think it's really important to share the message that you're not alone, and it's okay not to be okay. Reach out for help. I really want to spread that message because I've been in that situation recently, and it's really important to me.
I remember something Elton John said years ago. He said, 3 words saved my life.
Yeah.
I need help.
Yeah. I just remember saying those words, I need help, on my own on the phone to the doctor, and she was like, just, and I think if you can help someone, you should really reach out to them.
Talking about being ambassador, so how do you see or perceive your mission in that?
I mean, I think if I can inspire someone by sharing my story, to give them the confidence to share their story, or everyone's got a story, but if I can touch the hearts of someone that maybe have been through the same scenario as me growing up, maybe the drug scene or mental health, or they can relate their story to mine, it might just inspire someone to maybe think about sharing their story, or just give them the confidence to go out there and be strong and courageous and take on the world.
You know what? Take us back to 2015 when you were diagnosed with HIV and diagnosed bipolar. I think you were a student at the Royal Ballet School when this happened.
Yeah. So with the bipolar, that I was about 11 years old when I was first getting symptoms, and then when my nana died, it was that low from having the high of being in Young British Dancer of the Year. So I was a semi-finalist, and those extremes just exacerbated like the bipolar, and I was like looking at yourself in the mirror and just seeing, not liking how I looked, the pressures of the dancing industry where you feel like people are talking about you the whole time, but that's just people in the ballet world, and I think it was that self-consciousness of how I looked. As I grew up, I had boyfriends that called me fat, and so that image of being a very skinny boy and then your body changing. No, the bipolar was really, I had such highs where I thought it was on ecstasy. It was like drugs, because I know what it's like to be on drugs. It was as if I was on drugs. I talk really fast, and then I had the lows of not wanting to wake up and just being really tired, and was suicidal and just lethargic and not motivated or constructive. And I think it was really hard because you're trying to make it as an artist. So you're only 11 to 14 years old, and you want to do well in life and do what you love. But really, if you're not there mentally, it's very hard to portray confidence and beauty and elegance when you're not okay.
What do you think, if you could come back and say one thing to that boy, what would be that message?
You don't have to follow the crowd, you can be your own self. I think I was always trying to be something I was not, and I think it got the best of me in some ways. I think I should have just gone with what I wanted to do a bit more. I don't think I should have given up so easily. I think I should have pushed through and kept going and just realized this was a slip, because there's so much more I wanted to do. I wanted to write my own album. I wanted to be a model, all these kind of things, and I kind of held back because I didn't have the confidence in myself to go for it. And now it's like I'm 33 and like time's running out, and I'm like, do you think I want to write them, the songs, because they're part of me, they're my relationships growing up, but there's probably a way, all this creative stuff with the Naked Truth, and maybe bring it in somehow.
Okay, the Naked Truth. Okay, I love this. So in 2020, you launched the nonprofit called The Naked Truth. Love the title. Supporting the Terrence Higgins Trust, which is an iconic AIDS organization that was established in 1983. And also the Naked Truth supports Positive East, whose mission is to improve the quality of life of individuals and communities affected by the HIV virus.
Well, the real reason why I created it was because I had a day off. And I was like, what can I do? Because I got a day off. And that's how it came to grow. But I just wanted to, it was during COVID-19, and everyone was at home. I was like, what can we do that brings artists together and does something with a story, kind of hits home and is relatable to people? And so I decided to create this arts event, which was to try and battle HIV stigma through the arts. And it really hit topics of drugs, outdoors, sexuality, um, stigma, and I think I really achieved something special. And we raised over £1,500 for the Terence Higgins Trust, and obviously then we're fundraising now to do a gala in London 5 years later for 2025, and we're launching a calendar, a naked calendar. So
That's even better.
I know. Who wants to wear clothes? So we've got a naked calendar launching on the 29th of November. So put that in your diaries if you're in London, at Positive East. And then hopefully, if we get the sponsors we want to do, we want to have like a night of dance, music, poetry, drag, and have a big fundraising gala, sort of extravaganza, as it were, in London, which would be brilliant if it could come true. So I'm passionate about it, and like you gotta start small and just keep being nice to people and be in the right place at the right time, and I think it will happen eventually.
It sounds great. Oh my God.
29th of November is the launch event.
I love the video that is shown on the Naked Truth website. It is so well edited, so well produced. You talk on it, several other people talk on it, and the music and your dancing. I mean, I'm getting chills as I'm talking. So all you guys out there, go to the Naked Truth website and treat yourself to this fabulous video that is there. Wow. I guess I don't know if there's a simple answer for this, but nowadays, how do you confront depression when it slaps you upside the head?
I really have to fight with it because it really gets you and you really don't want to do anything at all. So I have to motivate myself to go for a walk, get out the house, go to the gym. Even if you make little steps, I think just the tiny steps really are fundamentally important. Even getting dressed in the morning, getting out of bed, is a stepping stone. And you just gotta be nice to yourself. Take little steps. If you can do one thing a day, that's important. That's impressive. And just be nice to yourself.
I think that's fabulous. In the morning when you wake up, what's the first thing you do?
Go to the toilet.
Good beginning. A very good beginning. Joshua, what things make your day?
Bubble baths, painting my nails, my skin ritual, Lady Gaga, little things, the little things in life. And sunshine really makes me happy. I don't think I like British weather. I was meant to be in a hot country.
Get your ass over here to the desert.
I would love to. And cuddles with my boyfriend. He gives the best cuddles. And I think more than cuddling up on his chest. I really love that.
What would be the first piece of advice to someone who's been recently diagnosed with HIV?
Seek support, like peer support. I think to meet other people that have been through the same journey. When I was diagnosed, I had a friend called Denzel, and we kind of went through the journey together. We became friends early on in my diagnosis, and we educated ourselves. We went to events, and I kind of didn't know much about it, but finding a sense of community is really important at the early stages. And just to know more about what you have to do for your health, looking after yourself, avoiding toxic things that might stimulate you in a way that is dangerous, just taking care of yourself, and seeking help. Again, it's okay to seek help.
And like you said before, which I love, be nice to yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And what do you think, Joshua, what could be that advice for the people that surround the person who has just received that news?
I think it's being understanding about education. I think it's not being living in the past about the myths of HIV as a death sentence. You can drink from the same glass, you can kiss, you can touch. Even if you're bleeding and they're undetectable, you cannot transmit the virus. Like, you know, there's sex toys, you know, put a condom over the top of them, you know, washing the sex toys to reduce like transmission of HIV. I think it's important that people realize that if you're HIV and you become undetectable, there's no way, you're probably a less chance of getting STI from someone that's HIV positive than you are someone that's straight or not living with HIV, because we get tested regularly, we get our health checks.
How can they give that the best way to support people with HIV and to support themselves? I mean, those people who are not HIV positive, but they get into this situation and they don't know what to do. What do you think? What is the best way for them to adapt to this new reality?
Coming out with your status is a big thing. Like, it's a personal journey, and not everyone wants to expose their HIV status. So it's being understanding, being someone you can listen to, being someone for a shoulder to cry on, you know, saying, it's okay, you're going to be okay. Get on medication, you know, I'm here for you. We're going to get through this together. You know, it's not the end of the world. There's light at the end of the tunnel. HIV is just a small part of you. It doesn't define you. And, you know, you're going to be okay. You equals you know. Undetectable equals untransmittable. And, you know, you just take one tablet a day and you live just as long as anyone else. It's like a vitamin tablet. There's nothing to be fearful of. And I think if we educate others about it and we put it in media and campaigns, then we can spread that message across and hopefully get rid of the ignorance and stigma that still exists.
Let's get personal now. What do you wear to bed at night?
I wear tracksuit bottoms and a hoodie, or if it's really hot, nothing. So this is actually my pajama top, but
oh, is it? Is it?
I wanted to be cozy because it's late.
Name a favorite movie of yours of all times.
A Star is Born with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Oh, wow.
I'm really looking forward to The Joker. I'm a Lady Gaga fan, but that's like my favorite film at the moment. Yeah.
Did you see her in that Italian film where she played
Oh, Gucci, House of Gucci? Yes, I did, yes.
She was fabulous.
I love the sex scene.
Well, name a color that you always gravitate towards.
Purple's my favorite color, but black goes with everything.
What do you think happens after we die?
We go to heaven and have parties.
Well, what dancers inspire you?
Carlos Acosta, Marianella Nunez, Misty Copeland, Alina Kochikora, Federico Bonelli was beautiful, Roberto Bolle, Italian dancer, and obviously choreographers like Balanchine, Jerome Robbins.
Now, if you wrote a book today, what would its title be?
The Journey Never Ends, or something like that.
Ah, I like that. The journey never ends.
I made that up on the spot, but something about journey, yeah.
Yeah, use it. I like it.
What do you daydream about, Joshua?
Food. Now I don't drink or do anything like that. It's food.
And what's one of your favorite foods?
I do love a jelly. You know, the wobbly jelly?
Name one word or short phrase to describe Joshua Royal.
Fun, happy on a good day, and passionate.
Nice, nice. Well, I mean, I can't believe, but our time has come to an end. We want to thank our fabulous guest, Joshua, for his time today. And thank you, audience, for joining us. We have more dazzling guests coming your way, so do stay tuned for our next episode. You don't want to miss it.
And please subscribe so you can be notified of our episodes and get full updates from us. Also, be sure and like our channel as well.
Yes, please. So, adios.
Ciao.
And goodbye from California, Spain, and the United Kingdom.